So my name's Chris, Billboard Chris. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I'm a father of 2 girls, and for more than 4 years now, I've been on a mission to raise awareness about what I consider to be the greatest child abuse scandal in the history of modern medicine. This crazy practice of trying to change the sex of children who have been taught that they were born in the wrong bodies. There's no such thing as being born in the wrong body. There's no such thing as a transgender child. The term for these kids is girls and boys. And the positive message we should be sending is that they're beautiful just as they are. But they're being taught that they need to change their body to find true happiness because they were supposed to be something they're not. That is psychologically abusive, never mind the physical harm. These kids are receiving drugs which stop their development, hormones which alter their development and sterilize them, and they're receiving surgeries. Mostly girls receiving double mastectomies in the United States as young as 12 years old, and thousands of kids have had double mastectomies. Boys are also getting what they call vaginoplasties. These are castrations and where they invert the penis to form a fake vagina. But I don't want to get into all the gruesome details because it's absolutely unbelievable what's happening. But people do need to know that this is happening. And the kids who are getting trapped by this ideology are struggling with other issues. They've got other mental health issues. They've got autism in many cases. A lot of them have been sexually abused. Trauma, bad home lives, kids in foster care. It's all the struggling kids, the vulnerable children who aren't fitting in and are being presented with this ideology as the cure for their ills, and it doesn't work. So we need to stop this in its entirety because there's not 1 ounce of truth to any of gender ideology.
At the moment, it's a good sign. I think with Trump, he's saying that just 2 genders. It's male, it's female, that's it. What do you think about this?
Yeah, 2 sexes. I want to get away from the word gender because that word has been corrupted.
Sexes, okay.
And the executive order that he signed is about 2 sexes, male and female. And of course, that's all there is. We've known this since the dawn of man. You know who else knows this? Dogs know it. Babies know it. But we're supposed to pretend that the emperor is fully clothed. We're supposed to play along with a delusion. And I think people have had enough of it. They were successful in forcing this into society because they conflated transgenderism with LGB. But all these letters, they have nothing to do with each other. LGB is sexual attraction, sexual orientation. Transgenderism is about a denial of reality. Queer theory, the Q, that's a political movement where they're trying to destroy all the norms of society.
Amen.
Thank you. And we just have to start using our voices and stop being quiet about it because the victims of this ideology are our children.
I see a big problem with the WHO. They try to educate the children very young for the sexuality. To 4-year-old, I think they should do already to how do you say in English? I don't know the word, but really sexual activism. It's really bad, I think, and that's from the WHO. I hope it's changing as well.
Yeah. So Trump just pulled funding from the WHO completely. I've actually got a lawsuit coming up in Australia, a freedom of speech lawsuit. I posted last year about a woman named Teddy Cook in Australia. She says she's a man. She runs their LGBTQ organization. And she was appointed to the WHO, to a panel of 20 so-called experts to draft policy for kids and adults who are transitioning. Now, the Daily Mail wrote this article about her, and on the cover they had a picture of her mutilated body and a picture that she had posted to her social media of a dog having sexual relations with a man.
Wow.
She posts about trans orgies. She says they have better sex when they're high on illicit drugs. She wants children to receive government-paid sex changes. And she's just an activist. But this is who the World Health Organization chose to appoint to their panel of experts. She's not a doctor. So I criticized her, and I called her a woman because she is. And in Australia, they have an e-safety commissioner, a woman named Julie Immigrant, whose job is to censor the internet for Australians. So they ordered X to take down my post.
Wow.
X refused, but they had to geo-block it in Australia. So I filed an appeal, and then incredibly, Elon Musk also filed an appeal. So we have 5 days of trial coming up for my single post on X in Australia, March 31st, April 4th. It's going to be a big deal. I hope we win, but if we don't, we're going to take it to the High Court. And again, this is just about speaking truth. No. This woman is not safe to be determining policy for children. We shouldn't have ideologues writing the policy for kids who are struggling with this. This is the blind leading the blind.
Yes.
And we need actual science to be driving this, not some ideological political agenda.
But in the science, we have a general problem, not only for concerning the kids. Also, we have seen the big drama with Corona. For me, it's a hoax. They just panic all over the world, and nobody wants to see it. What do you think about this?
Sorry, I misunderstood something there.
Yeah, I think the Corona hoax. For me, it's just a hoax. The scientific for
coronavirus.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, so that woke a lot of people up to how much we're being lied to.
Yes.
Back home in British Columbia, we had really good data available every day on admissions, deaths, everything. For about the first year, there was only one child under the age of 20 who had died from this. Well, kids die every year from the flu because they have other existing not mental health comorbidities. I'm so used to saying that, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They have other existing health problems. And this just was not a threat to almost everyone in the population. But it was a big hoax. I mean, right at the beginning, I remember Fauci saying that, you could wear a mask if you want to, but it's not going to do anything.
Yes.
1 week later, he was on the news saying we all need to wear a mask. Why did that happen? Because the teachers' unions got involved, saying that they didn't want to go to work unless everyone was wearing a mask, and it became a political agenda. And so again, with the vaccine, Pfizer, they had immunity from prosecution. Why would you need immunity from prosecution? Why would you need to hide your documents for 80 years, where we're not allowed to see the results of your trials? They lied. They said it had basically 100% effectiveness.
98.
Right. And then I saw other studies saying even 100, but these weren't studies. These were just lies. And it did nothing to stop transmission.
Yes.
It did nothing to stop infection. But as we've seen, it's caused a lot of harm to young people. And viruses are terrible, but viruses are going to come along once in a while, and we can't shut down all of society.
Yeah. Totally agree, and that's a big problem all over the world. But I think a lot of people wake up concerning this Corona hoax, and I hope that more people are waking up because it's so important. And I'm so happy that you're doing this work, and I cross fingers that everything will be fine. Thank you very much for being brave for the children. And I do also research for satanic ritual abuse all over the world. 50voices.org, maybe you have heard about.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, there's
Good for you.
some 50 victims all over the world answering the same 5 questions about this topic, and it's international, and it's very important. Maybe you have just a look. It's also in English, different languages, and we have to protect the children because they cannot protect themselves.
Yeah, our kids get ignored by all these global institutions. World Economic Forum, there's hardly anything talking about them. This is all about making money. This is basically crony capitalism. It's a merger between leftist, globalist governments and businessmen who want to profit off of it. And the kids are the ones who get left out.
Yes.
So we have hundreds of thousands of children being sex trafficked, but nobody talks about it.
Yes.
Hardly anyone's doing anything about it. So
It's a big problem.
I'll be in this fight for our kids in some respect for the rest of my life. We're winning very quickly on this issue. I think when it comes to battling the left, conservatives have never had more success on any cultural topic since the sexual revolution. We've had more success on this than anything else, because even most adults on the left know that this is insane.
Yes.
Parents know that their girls are girls and their boys are boys.
This is really true, and I can't really confirm this all over the world, but that the problem we have, it's just power and money. And as long the money is so important, we have it's quite hard to defend the children. But I hope now it's changing. Maybe also, I'm not a friend of Trump, but at least he decided to have these 2 sex, not more. And this is maybe the first step.
Not everyone loves Trump, but it's all about policy, not personality when it comes to politicians.
Yes.
And look what he's done in just the first few days. Amazing things.
Yes.
This is the most progress that has been done to reverse these really terrible leftist agendas in decades. So I'm extremely proud of him and the team that he's assembled, and I think they're doing great things.
Thank you very much for this interview. I wish you all the best and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.